All right. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, of course.
Starting us off with Texas versus Oklahoma, another toxicity bowl here, featuring two of the angriest fan bases. This game for me, it actually kind of has a hilarious perspective that I think nobody's talking about. Neither of these teams have really played anybody. And it's the thing that's getting talked about right now at Texas, where they played Jalen Milroe, who's bad this year, and they've played a bunch of backup quarterbacks. But at the flip side of things, Oklahoma's also played a handful of backup quarterbacks and nobodies to get to this point where they are both undefeated. I don't know the last time that they both came into this matchup being undefeated. I feel like it's been a decent amount of time because at one point or another, either Texas was really down or Oklahoma was down like they were last season. This game is really going to be proof for us, like, who is the actual legitimate team. I think that it's going to be a shootout. I think that this is going to be really high scoring because both teams have offenses that can air it out, that can produce big chunk plays. They've got good running backs that can pick up big yards on first down. And they also have been susceptible, both of these teams, for giving up big splash plays through the air. So I think high scoring is inevitable for this one.
I think Texas is a better team, and Brett McMurphy's been covering it a little bit. It's the biggest game of the weekend. He said or noted that it's only the fifth time since 2005 Texas is a favorite versus Oklahoma. Texas won the past 4 games when favored in the Red River rivalry, 2023, 22, 09, 06, 05. So there was a big stretch where Oklahoma was dominating, or at least was the favorite there. Texas, I think, has a better team, top to bottom. I think they have better playmakers on offense, and I think they have a better defense. Brent Venables might be a better coach than Sarkisian, because Sarkisian, this is the game to determine it. This is a straight-up pick-em who's a better coach between Venables and Sarkisian, because you've had 3 years, Sark, and Venable is in his second year. Second year. So this is a must-win if you want to prove that out of the 2 teams coming to the SEC next year, you're the top dog. Because Oklahoma wants to say, everyone knows about Texas. Oklahoma's just produced a couple quarterbacks, and they're going to come get rolled over by some of the big, bad SEC teams. No, not if they beat Texas. So that's a huge playing factor in this. But Joe, they beat Alabama. Texas beat Alabama. They also beat Wyoming. You're going to have to put respect on one of those 2 teams.
I'm not
choose
sure
one.
Which one.
You've got to choose one to put some respect on, Alabama or Wyoming.
I'm not going to. I want to talk about a point that you just brought up there. I do think that this game is critical for both sides in the must-win category because Brent Venables, as you said, a lot of people were upset with the way things turned out last season and how underwhelming they were in his first year. Nobody was giving him any excuses or any slack. So to get embarrassed, especially in this game last season, they at least have to keep this thing competitive, or at the very least, or not even at the very least, at the most, they need to go out there and win this game. They need to get this victory. But at the same time, if Texas loses, I would argue that Sark kind of lost all the time that he just bought by beating Alabama. You're blowing your load. You're blowing your load on beating Alabama, and then you can't beat Oklahoma. Just completely derails what could have been a really, really good season and going on to the college football playoff. I will say, though, I think that the winner of this game does go on to win the Big 12. And I don't think that that shouldn't be a hot take.
I'm not calling it a super hot take. I'm not calling it that. Yeah, last year, Texas won 49-0. There's no excuse for them not to win 31-20, right? That's fair. Is that a fair score projection after last year with Oklahoma improvement? They won 49-0.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than that. I think it's going to be much, much closer than that.
It shouldn't be. If you're Texas, you should be embarrassed if it's close. If it's closer than 2 scores.
Why? Wait. Okay, Dylan Gabriel has been statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I've watched him play. I've watched his tape. The guy looks really good.
I'm not inspired.
Okay, well, you have no idea what you're looking at then. You need glasses.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to right now?
He is a veteran.
You did not just hit me with something you would say to Heath's hot takes. You will not tell me you don't know what I'm looking at. I am not inspired. Maybe he can inspire me.
Okay, wait.
You do this less than others, but others do this. Whether it's polls, ballots, assessments, judgments, it's not in concrete for me. If Dylan Gabriel goes out there and balls the hell out, it's different. And then maybe I'm raising the book for him. But right now, he's not getting the book.
You know what? Dylan Gabriel's going to prove your ass wrong, man. He's going to prove your ass wrong in this game.
Inspire me then.
He has been one of the most consistent, strong quarterbacks this season. He is a good decision maker.
You just said he didn't play anybody. You just said that.
Not Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is one game.
Am I saying Quinn Ewers should be a top 5 pick? I'm not.
I can make evaluations on a player's quality despite who he's playing against.
Take your shoulders down.
Idiot.
I don't like when your shoulders get that high. Take them down.
You're an idiot. I think that this game is going to be close because of Dylan Gabriel and Texas not having been tested defensively by any quarterbacks who can actually throw the ball. And I would argue the multiple deep shots that led to touchdowns or were touchdowns in the Alabama game are proof that we should maybe have a little bit of a worry that they have been susceptible to getting beat over the top. It also happened with freaking, is it Jake Bean or Jason Bean, the backup quarterback for Kansas, who hit a nice, easy long shot over the top, which if you're that much better than Kansas, which I was told after the game that they were so freaking dominant, look how badly they beat down on them, you're not giving that shot up. You're not giving that easy, deep shot up. So you know what? Oklahoma has a legitimate chance to win this game. Don't act like that they don't.
I don't think that they do. And also, if we're talking about a long ball use, that's what won them the game versus Alabama. Taking off the top, an awesome long ball pass. So they can go both ways with it. I'm not saying they can't. But the Oklahoma teams that have tested their defense, that have been battle hardened, okay, let's check them out. Arkansas State, SMU, Tulsa, Cincinnati, Iowa State. Who has tested them? This is a mirror game. This is Toxicity Bowl. They're the same team right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Is better.
That's what I'm saying. I will quick shout out though on the defensive side of the ball for Texas. I really liked Jalen Ford, their linebacker, coming into the season, because he's a really good athlete and he's a strong football player. And he's taken a step forward. He's leading them in, I think, tackles for loss, and interceptions. He has been a monster for this Texas defense. So they got to step up. They got to get some stops. Both sides got to get stops. And it's almost, I think, going to be one of those games who gets the one stop in the end of the third quarter that leads to the 2-score lead. Probably that's kind of how I see it's going to turn
Gabriel
out.
Pick, probably.
You suck.
You think I don't want to pull out the book more? I'd love to. I would love to. Show me something.